Whose happiness is more important? Is it Joe Biden or is it the people of Kenya? And then you blame Gen Zs for coming to this parliament, a parliament of alls, a parliament of sellouts, a parliament of turncoats, a parliament that is completely insensitive to them. We are the ones who have fed them this kind of literature, and we are reaping what we sowed at this moment. Mr. Speaker, we cannot go on recess until the president apologizes to the youth of this country. Since when did the hustlers become mutineers? Since when did our hustlers and children become wankers? Mr. Speaker, since when did our Gen Zs, our children, become saboteurs? Since when did they connive to commit treason? Mr. Speaker, the youth and the public and the nation deserves an apology, not the intransigent posture that we saw from President Ruto yesterday.
The comment from the CIC of EFF, Julius Selo Malema, states that keep making us proud, Kenyan youth, you are doing an amazing job. While the farmers of thought, Joshua Maponga, wrote that Kenyan must lead the way. Do not elect another president. Let's reset to African factory indigenous governance system. Please consult Professor Kajwang for guidance. Throw away Roman Dutch laws that is the virus. So, brothers and sisters, kings and queens, sons and daughters in the continent, and those who are in diaspora, you have listened in shortly the speech from Senator Moses Otieno. So I want you to listen this full speech, then we'll come back.
Yesterday. And leadership, Mr. Speaker, sometimes we need to go back to the Bible. Look at the book of Exodus and how God hardened the heart of Pharaoh. Not once, not twice, not thrice, but almost 5 times. But eventually, God was trying to teach Pharaoh a lesson. Pharaoh William Ruto, God is teaching you a lesson. You have hardened your heart. Your children are in morgues. They are in hospitals. You are calling them criminals. You are calling them saboteurs. Mr. Speaker, even in the hardest of circumstances, God will rescue his people. And God will rescue his children. God will rescue this nation from the clutches of people who do not care about those who put them in office. They care about state dinners in foreign lands. They do not care about the welfare of the people that they're supposed to represent. We cannot go on recess until we call the president, because the Constitution empowers us to call any person, and that includes the president, to come here as a chair of the National Security Committee and to tell us the actions that they are taking to ensure that the cost of living is managed, but also the flagrant abuse of human rights and constitutional rights is also stemmed. Mr. Speaker, we cannot go on recess until the legal committee carries out an inquiry on the circumstances that led to the mess of yesterday. Until the trade committee talks to small-scale traders in Tomboya and Ronald Ngala and find out the extent of losses yesterday. Until the finance committee makes a strong case for Senate to consider the finance bill because it has provisions that relate to county governments. Until this House takes a resolution on the basis of Senator Mtata's letter that Parliament means Senate and the National Assembly, and the Senate must be involved in provision of budgets for constitutional offices and independent offices as per Article 249 of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, if we went on recess until that date in July, all these things are going to happen, all these things are going to pass, and by the time we come back, it will be water under the bridge. We cannot go on recess until the Cohesion Committee calls for all relevant stakeholders to have a conversation on the intergenerational conflict and the intergenerational divide that we are seeing emerging. Mr. Speaker, we cannot go on recess until we are told that the Commission spent $3.2 billion on an advanced security solution. It was tested yesterday. Does it work? We are not going on recess, Mr. Speaker, until we get answers to these questions. Mr. Speaker, we are not going on recess until our friends and brothers and sisters on the other political divide approach their political leader to tell him, as Pharaoh was also cancelled by his counselors, but God has designed that his heart should remain hardened. Please, our colleagues, Senator Cherargei, Senator Lelegwe, you've got the ear and access to the president. What benefit do you get by leading a dead nation, by leading an injured nation, by leading a sick nation, by leading an unhappy nation. But Mr. Speaker, I conclude by crying out to my party leader, Raila Amolo Odinga. Baba, we need you. Baba, how I wish you didn't have to go to Addis Ababa. Baba, how I wish you were here to provide leadership, to provide counsel, to provide statesmanship, to provide direction for a country that is in dire need of leadership, of direction and of statesmanship. What we don't have in this country is statesmanship. We have politicians. We have people who have come across cash. They do not know how to conduct themselves in the presence of cash. Like someone who has been hungry for too long and finds a huge banquet on the table. They are now just showing us what they call madharau in Swahili. Mr. Speaker, we hope that this nation will not degenerate. Because when it goes down, it does not matter whether you're a senator or a member of National Assembly or a member of UDA or Azimio. We all go down. Baba, we need you.
Now, Senator Kajwang.
On the comment of this video, when he asked that who is happy, Joe Biden or the people of Kenya, not only he mentioned that person, but he meant Western world or Western countries always seems to be happy once we Africa we engage in conflict among ourselves. So brothers and sisters, sometimes we need to choose a right way to solve our challenges. If there's an issue that we want to clear it or to make it favorable to each and everyone, we need to choose a right way. So not as what we see in some places in the continent of Africa. I hope you know this. Last week we saw President of Rwanda say that he is ready to fight with the Democratic of Congo. Sometimes this is not a right way. And also Congo replied by saying that the time of negotiation with Rwanda is over. Now let's start the business. So this is not a perfect way. This is not a right way for we Africans to solve our challenges, because what we need is to have Africa with borderless, Africa with one currency. We need to unite shortly, but by doing this and that, what we always see in our countries, in some countries, will be difficult for we to unite, because firstly, we need to understand the value of each and every one in the continent of Africa. So if we're doing things by making some other people feel proud, this is not a right way to solve this. So let us choose another way which will lead us to the Africa that we want. We all know that we have some agendas in Africa. We have this Agenda 2063 Continental Free Trade Area, which has already launched, but it can't work properly, or it can't work to the level that we expected, because we are not united. So we need to understand each other. Let us choose a better way to solve our our challenges, to solve our issue, because we believe that there is no African solution from outside to the African problem. Always they use this as an opportunity to exploit the resources in a certain country. What you see in West Africa there, where the three brothers, President of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, doing is what we want to see to the whole continent of Africa. We want to see they understand each other. Just take a look, President of Rwanda and Congo, they are not understand each other. Why they are in the same region? So how can we unite? Even in the same house, we are not understanding each other. So brothers and sisters, just a little, you heard well the speech from Senator. Please, if you have anything, write down in the comment section, because the aim is not to campaign anyone, but the aim is to have this, I mean, sharing ideas to have the same vision as we, I mean, the current generation of Africa, because our Lord, we all know what we need to do. Thanks for watching. Please let us meet on the next video.